Redditors. What's the strangest favor someone has asked of you? And did you do it? I was 16 and was getting out of my car in the driveway. My elderly neighbors had to be in their 90s asked me to come over. They explained they needed some help. They had trapped a squirrel in their attic and were trying to drown it in the bathtub. The cage trap was just large enough for it to stick its nose out and breath. They were wanting me to get it out and hold it under the water with a pair of leather gloves they handed me. I kindly told them no, but I would take it far enough away it would not return and bring the cage trap back to them. Once as I was leaving a club with some friends, we passed by a couple of women arguing with each other. One of them approached me and asked me if I could please punch out her friend for her and pointed over to the person she was just quarreling with. I was like, what? No. So she offered to pay me. I refused, and so they just stood there for a minute watching my friends and I leave in a cab and went back to arguing again. I have no idea what that was about. Was about to walk into a supermarket when a woman stopped me and asked if I'd look after a ferret so she could go in as they told her to leave when they saw it. She looked kinda rough, and I felt bad, had never seen a ferret in real life. So I was like, yeah, okay. Spent around 5 minutes outside holding this ferret, super chill little thing. She came out with a bottle of cider and a thanks love. Handed it back and went about my day. Ferrets are cool. In the early 2000s, I 30-ish was on my way to work. I came across a lady who flagged me down on the side of the road. Her car had broken down on a busy street in our town. She asked me to basically push her car with mine, bumper to bumper, to the nearest parking lot so she could get out of the road. I was scared as heck that I was going to damage her car, but I managed to get her gently to a parking lot and continue to work. Strange morning. Many years ago I moved into a condo, met a neighbor with a dog in the elevator for 30-second conversation. Second time I ran into him. He asked if I could walk the dog next week as he'd be busy with work. Okay, sure, as I like dogs. Gives me the key. I walk the dog the following week. No one home. I put requisite boots on dog. Return after 30 minutes. And the owner is inside. I forgot what he said, but a real SNH moment. A friend of mine from my home country was coming to Japan and asked me to book my hairdresser for her. My hairdresser is specialized in our natural colors. The friend did not speak Japanese at all. I thought it was crazy that she had that much confidence and was terrified something would go wrong with the bleaching and all. I did it. Went with her to the hairdresser too, and the hair turned out great. Craigslist dude, let me clean your apartment in the nude for free. Sometimes there is a difference between expectation and reality. So you may not have the experience you're expecting. Craigslist dude, no. I've done this plenty. You are wondering, did he pleasure himself? Of course, and he cleaned up after himself. Obviously. I asked one of my friends to help me throw a deer I hit into the dumpster at school in the summertime. He did help me. We both got suspended. It stunk up the whole parking lot and a lot of the school. Apparently they don't pick the dumpsters up very often, or it just seemed that way, lol. My toxic ex once phoned me up and asked to borrow my uterus. He'd decided he could be a single father, and turns out he thought my genes would be decent enough, so you know, if I could just be a trooper. And in case you're wondering, that was a hard no. A girl told me if anyone asks me if I'm dating her sister to say yes. I barely interacted with her and didn't even know she had a sister. When someone did ask me about it, I would always say no. Surprised she didn't confront me about it. Ex said she had a stressful day and asked if she could bite my arm because it'd make her feel better. I let her. She left teeth marks. Should have seen the red flags right then and there. Didn't happen to me. Up from a family member, he said he went to the store and asked if anyone needed anything, and someone told him to buy condoms. Very weird, but he did it anyways. A guy I dated years before, but remained friendly with, called me one day and asked me to marry his brother so he could move to the US. My response, blink bling. My roommate in college asked me to help him find a condom he lost inside his girlfriend. I probably would have, but his girlfriend said I wasn't allowed to help. I had a friend of mine who for some reason, wanted me to pretend to be her on a phone interview because she was too nervous to talk.